Here's why your hip mobility sucks. Most people stretch their hips and call it a day. You're not doing anything for your body other than lengthening that muscle. No wonder you feel good the moment that you do it, but the next day that tightness still comes back and you're still in pain. In today's video, I'm gonna be showing you one exercise that you can incorporate 3 times a week to greatly improve your hip mobility. I'll start off with the most beginner exercise and then we're gonna be moving on to intermediate and more advanced. So the first one is, we call a figure 4 stretch. So you're gonna place your leg upon the wall and you're gonna find your right leg and place it over your left knee. And if this is too close of a distance, you should definitely move further to feel a stretch. So one thing with this, you wanna keep your low back onto the ground as much as possible. And what you're gonna be doing is placing that right arm on that right knee. And so you're gonna be pushing down into that right knee until you feel that glute stretch. You're gonna be holding this stretch for a maximum of 40 seconds to a minute. After you do this stretch, what you're gonna be doing is pushing this foot down into that left knee while you're pushing this knee into my arm. So it's gonna look like this movement. So you're almost like thinking of internally rotating that hip. So this is gonna be a follow along. We're gonna fast forward to 1 minute and then 15 seconds pushing inwards toward that arm or to that leg, and then 15 seconds into that arm. So it's what we call an isometric contraction to feel a greater sensation in the stretch. The second exercise is more of an intermediate stretch where the second movement is more of an intermediate stretch where we're working the same hip external rotation position, but we're getting into a lower surface. So what we're gonna be doing here is essentially putting our leg 90 degrees out and then putting our leg behind. So if this might feel restricted for some of you, you can always put that leg, maybe not strictly in square, but you can slightly turn it out. So what you're gonna be doing is get in this position, and that hind leg, it doesn't need to be completely straight, and you're gonna keep that straight back. What you're gonna be doing is leaning forward until you feel that glute stretch. It's gonna feel a big contraction in this outer glute right here. So we're working on the right leg right here. And you wanna keep your chest nice and tall looking forward. And you hang on, same thing, to the stretch, 40 seconds. And essentially you're gonna be doing the same exercise in an upright position. Place your left arm on that right knee to feel more of a stimulus. I'm gonna show you from the front here. And once that 40 seconds is up, what I want you to do is push this right leg down into the floor while you're pushing this right knee up into the sky. So it's similar to what we just did, essentially this movement. It's not very noticeable because it is an isometric contraction, so you really need to be mindful of that. And you want to start at very low percentage, from 0% up to your greatest, safest effort. It could be 30%, it could be 40%. However you want to do it, you want to work within your capabilities. So one thing with here is I'm pushing this arm into my knee and your knee is resisting. So you don't want to move any part of your body except that hip joint. So you should really feel it right in the deep inner portion and in the outer portion IT band. So it's gonna look something like this. Notice I'm not moving any part of my body. Okay, that's the second movement. I'm gonna be showing you the third and more advanced movement. So the last and final movement is an elevated pigeon stretch. This is one of the pinnacles in hip mobility because you're also working at end range. So what you're gonna be doing is placing 90 degrees as well. You can always adjust 90 degrees. It doesn't need to be exactly, but this is the optimal position to be in anterior tilt and feel the most glute stretch. So same thing with this one, back leg extended all the way at the top, and you're gonna be leaning forward as much as you can feel a stretch. For some of you, if you feel like you need to round your back, you're definitely not doing the stretch right. So get it right, start upright right here, lean forward. Again, 40 seconds into the stretch, right arm on that left leg. So obviously we're working a different leg right now just for you to kind of see how it is. And once the 40 seconds is up, you're gonna be pushing this right arm into that left leg or left knee, and that left knee is gonna resist it by pushing upwards into the arm. So it's gonna look something like this. So notice that small change, if you look closely. And then this leg is essentially gonna be rotating downward into this block right here. So again, lean forward, recap, 15 seconds from a 0% effort to a maximal of 30-40% effort. So it's gonna look like this while you're keeping upright. Notice I'm not shifting side to side to compensate for my lack of mobility. So again, this is really advanced or more intermediate advanced. And once you're done that, you're essentially gonna bring the portion of this knee upward into the sky once you're done the 15 seconds, almost like you're externally rotating upward into the other direction. So it looks something like this for the other direction. Again, 15 seconds for this effort. It's not very noticeable because obviously I'm at end range, and so that's how it should be. And once you're doing that for one round, I want you to repeat for 2 more rounds for all my intermediate. And then once you're done that, you're gonna be getting deeper into the stretch. So that's the end of the video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for more content on calisthenics, mobility, and all that content. Go do it now.